Good morning and welcome to Zen and the Art of Movies. The movie I want to look at right now is Star Wars and the Power of the Dark Side. I always wondered what that was. You know, Darth Vader and the power of the dark side. What was that all about? So, you know, the art of movies is to see our real life now, our historical life going on right now, referenced by in the framework of our movies and our myths. Movies are myths, just like the myths of the Greeks and the Bible was mythological. All civilizations have the myths that hold them together, the narratives that hold them together. And of course, from our viewpoint now, in the modern world where there are no myths, they're all fantasy, you see, we think we see reality as clean of myths. Just things bumping into each other, that's it. No story, just the facts. No story, you see. But myths are stories. And just you know, if you get lost in a snowstorm or a sandstorm, it's just data. You know, it's like the modern world now is lost in we're lost since the age of enlightenment. We're increasingly lost in a data storm, just information coming at us. So we have to create narratives. We have to create stories to sort it out. We have to create myths to sort out the dust storm, to sort out the snowflakes, and create stories, create snowmen and forts and sandcastles, you see. Otherwise, we're lost in a psychosis of just incoming data that has no meaning. So stories give meaning, you see. So we have to create stories. Now there are stories and myths are like Russian nesting dolls. You ever seen those? You got one big doll, and if you take it apart, you go through layers and layers and layers and layers of dolls, you see. So this civilization's culture is like that. You have one overriding myth, and then you have lesser and lesser myths. So there is the myth of American civilization, and then you have the nesting doll of other stories getting down to your story. So your personal story, your narrative, your story of me, your personality, you see, is the first story in the Russian nesting dolls. And so this story fits within all the other myths, you see, that goes up to the top, which would be the story of your culture, the story of your civilization. And America has two stories. That's just we're conflicted. America is wounded, you see, because we have conflicting stories. And this creates a rub. And this rub creates instability and creates new stability. So we are a nation at unrest. And this makes us very creative and very violent. Either way, you see. So what is the rub here in America? Well, it's coming to a rub fire right now, because the myths that are rubbing together are very real and felt, and it creates a civil war of narratives. So let's look at Darth Vader and the power of the dark side. I've been writing about Epstein, and I just ordered and I'm reading the Nobody's Girl, which is a memoir about from Virginia Guthrie's account of being Epstein's girl, you know. And I look at Epstein's pictures, and he has a charisma about his pictures. He's always looking directly at the viewer, at me, you see, as if he has a secret. In fact, when Donald Trump wrote his birthday present to him, he alluded to this secret we know. We have a secret. What is the secret? What is the secret of Trump and Epstein and all the people that went to his magical island, you see, on his magic plane, and all these elites and people of power? What was the secret? Was it the dark side? What was the dark side of Epstein? What is the dark side of Trump? What is this power? So looking at Epstein as a metaphor for the dark side, I get a little glimpse of what it is, you see. Epstein had the power of being beyond good and evil, beyond morality. Diddy had it too. Epstein had it. Any cult leader has it, but they're usually very small. But let's take Epstein on the East Coast and Diddy on the West Coast. Both had the power of the dark side, and it was charismatic power. It was felt energy, and it was intoxicating. Obviously, they were able to, Diddy and Epstein were able to create this dark side as a safety zone where you could come in and experience the power of the dark side. So what is this power of the dark side? The power of Darth Vader. Is it the power of being beyond morality? Of being free from right and wrong? Of being free to do what you want without guilt and shame? It would seem that way. But there's all of our movies have heroes who have the power of the dark side and the power of the light side. James Bond, all of his villains have the power of the dark side. They all believe they're beyond right and wrong. They can do what they want, and what they want to do is, of course, right. You see. So this because I'm right, because I do it. You see, they all have this dark side power. And in the Bond movies, you see, it keeps expanding to take over the world, like Trump and Hitler. You see, unchecked, it'll take over the world, like kudzu, cover everything. So this power of the dark side seems to be the power that is beyond good and evil. Oh, did you watch Killing Eve? That's about the power beyond good and evil. If you really get into it, all of the movies are about this power behind good and evil. And do the heroes use it for good, or do they use it for self-interest, you see? So the hero who has power beyond good and evil does it for compassion. So he's a savior. But on the opposite side, the power of the dark side uses the power for self-interest. There's the difference, you see. Trump uses his power for self-interest, to promote his expanding ego, you see. Whereas the hero of the light side, the James Bond, you see, the Han Solo and Luke Skywalker, use the power not of good and evil, but the power of the power that is beyond good and evil for the good of man, not for themselves. This is the shift, you see. It's the same power, but what do you use it for? Self-enhancement? Or is there a sacrifice of the ego for the good of humanity? Which power is greater? Which power is greater, you see? In the movies, the power of the light side is always greater than the dark side, and the same with Hindu mythology. In all the myths of the world, the power of the light side eventually overcomes the power of darkness. Thanks for dropping in.